Yeah. I'm gonna follow them close-ish behind, but I don't want them to know, or anyone else around to really know that I'm following them. So I'm gonna.
I've seen your stealth rolls. Yeah.
Okay. I roll with advantage, so that's why I've been rolling.
Yeah.
Twice.
No, I see. No one notices you.
Okay, so I'm gonna slide. Like I'm on a roof, right? So I'm gonna go to the side of the building, and I'm gonna find like the gutter pipe, and I'm gonna like slide down it, and then I'm gonna kind of enter into the street, very Assassin's Creedy, but not as obvious, and kind of walk parallel to them, but maybe 20 feet away.
I mean, they're entering into the more crowded part of the dock ward, and that immediately allows you a lot of options for staying out of the way and unseen. I'm going to have you make another set of rolls here as you continue down the road. If your goal is to continue to not be seen.
Yeah.
So meanwhile, Dottle and Juniper, you found your way into the Court of Stars, which is outside of the Magister's Keep, and you immediately are surrounded by all of the tents and the bustle of the marketplace. There are vendors who are selling various wares and trying to catch your attention as you ride past, offering to show you bolts of fabric and small wooden toys, various exotic fruits, and other pottery and things like that as you're moving along. You go deeper and deeper into the Court of Stars and eventually make your way to the brightly colored pastel tint of Rosy Glitterspark, the alchemist. And shining from within is a calliope of bright colors that flash and spin and whirl. And even in the rain and the gray, this is a beacon of bright, cheery, colorful warmth in the middle of all of this. And you pull the carriage up. The colorful tent in front of you has a sign that swings lazily in the breeze. It is marked with a potion bottle that has a gem across the front of it. It is a shimmering pink image, and there is a bubbling brew that is bursting forth from the potion bottle. This is Rosie's shop, and it has become a sanctuary to you and your companions in this city. You pull the cart around to the back, and there is a hitching post. What do you do?
I was just gonna say I stay in the cart until given the go-ahead.
Okay, I'm gonna unmount MacLeod and go ahead and tie him up.
As you're tying the horse up, you notice the back side of the tent opens, and the large, hulking form of the half-orc, half-Goliath Bone Splitter appears. Standing at 8.5 feet tall, this wall of muscle, heavily tattooed, fierce-looking form looks upon you in the cart. He walks towards you and helps you to tie down MacLeod silently, and looks towards the cart with a blank expression as if to ask, where are the others?
Hey, Dottle, I think it's cool to come out. So we just left our friends on a little adventure, and so it's just going to be Dottle and I for right now.
I'd like to peek my head out of the cart. Bone Splitter! And I want to, like, jump off the cart so I can, like, wrap my arms around his neck and give him a big ol' hug.
You physically have no real way to wrap your arms all the way around his neck, but you do manage to grab onto it as if you're grabbing a tree trunk. He gently pats you back and then helps you back to the ground.
Aww.
You're now standing underneath the colorful tinted awning where the carriage is secured, and you see the back door, the flaps of the tent are open, and you hear sounds of movement inside, and he nods silently.
I'm gonna go inside.
Yeah, same.
Okay, so the two of you walk into the tent, and when you enter, you see the colorful pink hair of Rosie Glimmerspark as her pale blue skin is streaked across the room. She is running back and forth, grabbing potions and vials and mixing them together. She has the chest that was given to her that she had purchased from you and the other of your party. And that chest is now very much empty. There are only a few items remaining in it. And it seems that she's been successful in selling the majority of those components that you had brought to her. She seems to be sorting things out, and she's charging around. And when the two of you enter into the shop, she skids to a stop and looks over at you. She is surprised, and her eyes, her big gym-like eyes, fill with a clear joy as she sees the two of you.
Hello, Rosie.
Hi, I was really worried. I thought for a minute that you may not have made it, but I'm so glad you're here now. And now that you're here, we can talk about all the things that we need to talk about. There's so much to go through. Right now, I haven't received very many letters, so I don't know what Saray is doing. Have you seen her? Where's everybody else? Where's MacLeod? Where's Hawk? Hawk is very sour, isn't he? I think something's wrong with him. We need to check on the different ways that his potions have been affecting him. I have a feeling that there might be things about them that might have to be altered so that we can make a component that's going to work and that's also going to protect you against everything that's happening right now. We need to be sure about that because it's very, very important that these magical effects don't actually cause any kind of ill effect or harm because it's a very important thing, and I really want to make sure that everything is okay. By the way, I want to make sure that you know that I made tea already, and there are crumpets, and there's everything that you might need. So if you're hungry or you're thirsty, you can help yourself here. I'm going to be right back. I have to go get a couple of other things.
And she runs out of the room, leaving you to a tray of tea and cakes that are set on the center of a number of alchemy tables. And there are bubbling little liquids and colorful brews that are bubbling on that table. Bone Splitter walks in behind you and just silently kind of stands there.
Bone Splitter, would you like to join us for tea?
You know, as soon as you start to miss her, it's hard to remember that you did.
So she is she's out of the room for a moment. She just ran off, and you're left in the workshop. What would you like to do?
Have tea with Bone Splitter!
So Bone Splitter, because you give him a teacup and a saucer, he very gingerly holds it and is sipping tea with you.
Did Rosie perhaps, can I see if she left any of her new fun trinkets in the room at all?
There are a number of brightly colored silk cloths that are wrapping various items. There is a cage in the corner of the room with a sheet over it, and there seems to be something shuffling in the cage.
I'm gonna go up to the cage.
You walk over to the cage, and the cage shuffles and shakes.
I lift up a little bit of
You start to lift the sheet, and Bone Splitter puts his hand on yours.
All right, let's have some tea then, right, Bone Splitter?
And he gives you a tiny saucer with a cup.
Thank you, Bone Splitter. I truly appreciate it.
And you enjoy cakes and tea while Rosie runs through the room a few times. She is on a real tear right now, and you're not able to catch her attention as she is mixing vials and running back and forth between the various rooms of the shop, climbing up ladders into store chambers and digging through things. She seems especially frantic today, but it seems that there's something that has set her off. All of you, the two of you can make insight checks.
Yeah.
Well, bam! 19.
Ooh.
Yeah, well, both of you did very well. You both think that there's an undercurrent of fear.
Rosie, can I, while she's going back and forth, can I get in front of her to stop her movement real quick?
Yeah, so you stand in front of her, and what do you say as she turns to you?
I gingerly take her shoulders. Rosie, is something going on?
What kind of question is that? Of course there's something going on. I've been working on what we were working on. You already told me that there were things happening, and I started to investigate things, and I made some contacts that I really need to talk to Saray about. There's a lot of things that are happening, and all of it's going to come down together. And you have the goldfish, and there's all the effects that were created by the goldfish and everything that happened when you did that. And now we have to make sure that we're able to be adequately protected and make sure that nothing happens.
Rosie, okay, but I need you to explain anything new that may have happened. Can you do that for me?
So much that I need to tell you. Where should I start? Should I start when I left and then all of a sudden when I was on the carriage and I was waiting to get to my contact, or when I was bringing them the things, or when the other people were involved and they said the grasping eye? The grasping eye is certainly involved, and that might be tied to the Xanathar guild.
Juniper, perhaps we should wait until the rest of our party has arrived before we relay any new information. In the meantime, Rosie, is there anything I can be doing to assist you in any way?
I need you to clean these vials and make sure that they're scrubbing, because right now they're very dirty, and if we're going to use them for any of this work that I have that has to be set up, we're going to have to make sure that they're sparkling clean, because if they're contaminated in any way, it could cause ill effects, and it might make, we don't know really what color Hawk's going to turn up if he keeps turning from blue and pink and all these other things. I think it's a very good change. I think he actually looks a little bit better. He doesn't look so sallow and grumpy, but I can make sure that we make a better potion if you make sure that these are clean.
Yes, ma'am.
And so she gives you some brushes and some soap, and you go in and start cleaning vials for her. Meanwhile, in the streets, the rain is still covering you in a perpetual stream of dampness, but it has relinquished somewhat to a very, very soft sprinkle. The clouds are still hanging above you, and you see no sun in sight as kind of a cold wind breaks through the streets. Saray, you are silently following behind.
We're going to where we hide out, and you're going to meet someone who's just going to be quite a lot. They're a lot.
She's a lot of personality and a very small person, but she's also a very dear human being. Or not human being, gnome.
No, she is smart as a wick, and she is great and really good at alchemy, and has helped us out a lot. But you will have to reconfigure your brain just to understand her a little. She's just very fast. I'm just warning you.
It's very difficult to get a word in.
Don't be scared, though. She's lovely.
I feel more concerned than if you had not felt the need to warn me so much.
Should we get some ale to drink while we're on this trip?
Do we actually just want to go for a drink?
I don't mean to keep you from your extremely weird business.
No, it's alright. I need to finish up this report. But there's so much to write in, it would probably be better if I just did it as a gang. And honestly, I'm going to be super honest with you, Ken. I'm fucking exhausted. My lord. So, having just sitting down for 5 minutes sounds fucking great.
Yeah, alright, let's do it.
Let's hop in a cart. We go sit
Lads,
down at
I
Rosie's.
ain't
We'll
had
have
a
a drink.
fucking just sit down in a drink in months. This is great. I'm having a good time. I like our little gang. Let's just go. Should we invite the others, or should we just leave it?
Not my circus, not my monkeys.
Two ways we could go about this. One, we can introduce everybody. Actually, maybe we should introduce
fine.
everybody.
Listen, we'll stop off at Rosie's on the way. Say we're going to go for a drink.
Sounds good.
At
And
this
then just-
point,
Or we could not.
I'm gonna pop in.
MacLeod, you hear something behind you. Everybody else is unaware of Saray's arrival. You got an
MacLeod turns
exceptionally high
around
roll.
with a start. Ready to
MacLeod,
go.
what's up?
Okay, yeah.
MacLeod almost stands up straighter. And he's Captain?
Sorry. I was worried there for a second. when
Cal
MacLeod turned
perks up
around.
at the captain, addressing her as captain. Like, oh shit.
So, how did that go?
We almost got arrested, but we didn't. I think that's the most
Yeah.
important part.
I think in terms of being found at a burning warehouse next to two corpses and walking free, we did pretty well for ourselves. I'm proud of
yeah.
us.
This is Cal.
You picked up
Low man.
someone?
Yeah, we almost did get him arrested, so we kind of owe him a drink.
If cops talk to you because of somebody else, that somebody owes you a drink. That's
Cal kind of knows our whole deal. Lynn, it's just Doddle got to pick up someone, a new member of the gang, and I felt like I kind of wanted to do it, and
Yeah,
and like, it's like
Cal just looks around like he suddenly thinks he might be being abducted by
on the upside, you know, in terms of new people, Cal has slapped me way less than the last person we've picked up. So like, I'm happy.
One of these days, you guys are going to open your fat lips and get us all killed.
you feeling alright, Sarai?
Yeah, you've been a little different.
Get yourselves your drink and then meet us at Rosie's. And then she turns around and heads straight to Rosie's.
He's normally not like that.
Yeah.
I think 10 seconds might be a new record for someone hating me that much.
No, you'll beat that record pretty fast.
Yeah.
The woman who pulls up in the carriage looks down at you. Are you getting in? Are you gonna ride?
Cal hops in the carriage.
All right, let's do this.
Oh, it's fine.
Three copper per bum.
No, it's fine. I'll do it. There you go.
Oh, Cal will pay for it.
No,
Okay.
I got it.
No, yeah, we're good. Trust me, we're the ones that owe you this, Cal.
Yeah, so between all of you, you pay 9 copper for you to go across town. You give some directions. If I understand this correctly, you want to go into the southern ward and find a tavern?
Yeah, just one that's kind of near Rosie's shop.
Yeah, there are a few in that general area. And so you make your way to the outskirts of the Court of Stars. And the tavern that is in front of you is not a tent. It is a physical building. It is made out of moss-covered stone and aged gray boards. The shingles on the building have been painted a very bright green, and it's called the Raucous Rambler. And there is a jester painted on the tavern sign, and the tavern is like tumbling off of a wall. And in the front, you see a few people that are seated on exterior benches underneath the awning, kind of drinking heavily and carousing. There is a fiddle player who is playing music, and there's a warm, welcoming fire coming from the inside of the open air areas of the tavern that lead into a very lively and busy tavern.
When Cal looks up at the jester, sign's like, yeah, this looks like your vibe, let's go.
I look at MacLeod, I'm like, wait, which one do you think he was talking about? You're the colorful one. No, you're the colorful one.
Yeah, but you're the fucking loser. And then MacLeod walks into the.
I'm gonna pray on that. I walk in following him.
All 3 of you walk into the Raucous Rambler, and as soon as you do, there's a shout and a cheer that roars up as on the stage, you think it's for you, and then you realize it's not for you. On a stage across the way, a bard comes up, and she has very bright red hair that is toiled up into a tight bun on the very top of her head. And then there are feathers that are inset into this bun that create a splay, almost like a peacock's tail. And she comes up and she starts to sing.
Come over, Maggie, don't save it for a rainy day. Over to me, right foot, diddle-o.
Her song is exceptionally well-skilled. She is one of the best bards that you've heard in your recent memory.
Hey, Maggie, we come away.
And she plays a lute very skillfully as she begins singing. And the entire tavern is kind of singing along and very engaged in the performance. And you make your way to a table kind of in the back, and you're able to get a seat close to the fire, but still with a view of this bard as the music fills the air. We'll come back to you.
Out of my heart, I just been undone by the miller's daughter.
So Ray, After confronting your allies, you made your way down the streets and back into the Court of Stars. You find your way to Rosie's shop.
Before I enter Rosie's shop, I'm going to check, like make a round around Rosie's shop and check and see if anyone is, anyone suspicious around.
You do so, and as you make your round, you find MacLeod the horse and the cart tethered in the back. All of the tent flaps have been closed, and as you well know, there are magical wards that prevent the tent from any sort of exterior probing or divination. You know that to a limited extent, the tent is able to withstand any sort of magical incursion, and certainly any mundane spying that might occur from the outside.
Okay, and then I'm also going to kind of inspect the area, not the tent, but the area surrounding the tent, like in the Court of Stars. Is there anyone?
You do notice across the street one of the vendors that has always been open when you were present here. It was a florist, and they have had various exotic plants and flowers that they would sell, herbs and other fresh growth from throughout all of the Waterdeep area. That shop has been closed, and you've never noticed it to be closed in the past, and the stall has been shut up and it hasn't been open. But other than that, everything seems to be as it initially is.
Does it look like that like the owner isn't there anymore, like it's abandoned, or that like someone else has bought it and is putting new stuff in there?
It is currently it looks like the owner isn't there and it has been shuttered, so it's locked up.
But the store is still there, like it's still.
The store is still there. It's still a flower shop, but the openings on the window where they would vend the flowers have all been closed and are locked up, and all you're seeing now are the brightly colored painted boards of the underside of the table that is used to offer these wares.
I'm gonna enter in to Rosie's shop once I feel that that's suspicious, but it doesn't seem to be. I'll inspect it later, and I'll.
No one is actively watching you that you can tell. You step into the brightly colored pastel tent, and you are bathed in the rainbow lights of all of the magical vials and spells that cause the open air of Rosie's shop to illuminate with magical properties. The brilliant color spray of light and color gyrates and moves about the room very quickly. All of the glass bottles begin to pulse and glow. And as you step into the tent, there is the tinkling sound of a bell that emanates all around as you break the magical ward entering into the tent.
Yes, Bone Splitter, it is seen as polite to pour tea for others. However, where I come from, it's typically a tradition that the youngest at the table serves tea to the eldest, and then after that doesn't really... Hi, Saray. How was everything? Is everyone okay?
They're fine. They're on their way back now. They seem to have picked up a new friend.
That's wonderful.
A new friend?
Who's the new friend?
I have no clue. Some kid.
Great, how are you doing? It's great to see you, best friend. I'm so glad that you're here. Please come over here. You gotta sit back down. Oh, you look a little tired. Please take a seat. I have a chair here right for you, and I've been waiting for you. I wanted to talk to you about the letters that you haven't been writing because it's been a little while, and we did have an arrangement. That arrangement was that you were gonna write me 3 letters, not 1, not 2, but 3 letters, and that you were gonna give them to me one day, then the second day, and then the third day, and you were gonna offer them up, and you were gonna tell me about how bright my eyes are, and how pretty my hair is, and about how great of an alchemist I am, and how much you really like spending time with me, and how we're best friends, and we're always gonna be spending time together. So have a seat right here and drink some tea, and then let's eat some cakes, and let's talk about what you've been doing. And are you okay? Because you seem a little down, and I'm not sure if this is normal, but I think that there might be something wrong with you. I'm gonna mix up a potion and see if I can fix it.
Thank you, Rosie. Rosie, I see you every day. I don't need to write you a letter every day if I see you every day.
She has thrust a teacup into your hand and a plate with these really sugary cakes on them. And they're like 50% icing, 50% cake. And she presses them into your hand, and she refuses to let you get a word in edgewise as she continues to kind of regale you with everything that she's been doing. You find out that she sold most of the magical components that you brought to her, and that she's made some decent progress with that. She also tells everybody present that she is concerned and that she's been working on trying to find a way to ensure that Dottle specifically is protected from her magical potions, which she is not entirely sure is guarding Dottle against divination magics that might be tracking her, given what has happened since the goldfish was discovered.
So you don't think any of your magic spells or any of your potions are working?
Look, I'm the best that there ever was or ever will be. I'm the best alchemist that you're going to find in this town. And I can tell you right now that if there is anybody who can make a potion that's going to work against this, I would be the one to do it. And right now, I'm not sure that it's actually working, because what happens with Dottle is very, a very strange, peculiar situation. I don't even know why, but it's as if the magic isn't even working. So I could like throw it into the ocean. It might be more effective than giving it to Dottle. But right now, Hawk is definitely being affected. So I know that the potions are being especially vigorous in their works. And right now, I'm just not sure. Maybe it's a bad humor, or maybe it's something that's not working correctly with her spirit.
May I speak up?
So you have to just jump in with, as you know, with Rosie. She doesn't.
I'm not sure if Dottle would. She'd just be like, yeah, I don't think she could interrupt somebody.
Yes, Dottle.
Oh, thank you. Well, my current theory is that I've been transformed. By who and why, I'm not entirely sure. But I'm thinking that it's perhaps overpowering anything else. Like, whoever changed me doesn't want me to change back. Does that make sense?
It certainly does, but we're going to have to do some more research to find out exactly what those effects are, or why they might be affecting you in this way, because it's not just enough to say that this might be the problem. But by the way, we need to know exactly who your enemies are. Who would do this to you, and why would they do this to you, and why are you here, and why are you a goblin? You already told me your secret, so now that I know, I can actually be open about it. I had some suspicions from the very beginning about you, and about the fact that you had been magically changed into some sort of form, because it seems like any sort of transformative spell isn't working at all. While we can do things that might work on an illusionary scale, it's not something that's going to work on you necessarily, given the fact that the weave of magic seems to be so strongly tied to whatever it is that's happening to you.
Well, Rosie, I'm not entirely sure I had any enemies. I mean, Tailwind isn't a country that makes enemies because nobody knows if we exist or where we are. We haven't really been at war as of late.
Dottle.
Yes?
Something just clicked. If there's no real way into Tailwind, then that means whoever did this to you was probably someone you knew. Was there anyone that powerful around you? I mean, I'm sure. I mean, look at you. You're pretty powerful yourself.
Thank you. Yes, but I don't have any evidence. So I don't want to go pointing fingers at people that I've tried very hard to be kind to, because perhaps I didn't succeed. I don't want to say, oh, I think it was this person, because I'm not entirely sure, and that doesn't seem right.
We'll figure it out. So, Saray, you said they're on their way back, yeah?
They are getting a drink at the local tavern, and they will be back when they are done.
They're getting a drink.
Oh, and I forgot to mention, they told their new friend everything.
Does that mean they're going to be part of the squad now?
Or they have to die. Yes.
Why would they have to die?
I don't know, Dottle. If someone told a person that you don't know your secret, wouldn't you be a little concerned?
Well, yes, but in the same vein of me not wanting to accuse someone of transforming me when I have no evidence, I'm not going to accuse this person that I have never met of being shifty. And I'd like to go over and grab my scarf. We have this saying in Tailwind, when translated basically means you don't truly know someone until you've shared a drink with them. So I think I would like to go have a drink with the boys now, if you don't mind.
Oh, you know what? I think I'll join you. And while we're there, I'll ask them how easily it was for them to hand over information to this person, but not me, who was stuck in a jail cell with you, who clearly had no ill intention.
Yeah.
If you want to bust in on the boys, by all means.
I want to do some busting, all right?
Gonna go night on the town.
I will be more than happy to see this. And Saray gets up and, Rosie, would you like to come along?
Yeah!
Or you, Bone Splitter?
Wow, I'd really like to come to get a drink with you guys, but I can't right now. I'm working too hard on all of this, and Bone Splitter's gonna stay here to help me out. But maybe
Rosie.
we'll have some time to get a drink, and we'll make sure that we have some time and spend. You can tell me everything that you've been doing, and you can start to talk about all the letters you're gonna write.
But Rosie, you have to have a break at some point. Same with Bone Splitter. Sometimes even the greatest of geniuses need to have a break because after they'll break, they'll be refreshed and can get more done quickly.
All right, you are playing upon Rosie's ego and calling her a genius. So go ahead and roll a persuasion with an advantage.
18's pretty good. Oh, 17 and an 18.
All right, well, I guess I could spare a little bit of time. It doesn't hurt to let your hair down every once in a while. Just let me go change. I gotta make sure that I look good. I can't leave in my work clothes.
Please, Rosie, I would love for you to take your personal time to get ready.
She walks into that back closet that everybody's used as the crying room, and she walks in and slams the curtain shut. And legitimately half a heartbeat later,
I'm gonna look over to Bone Splitter when she goes into the closet, and then just try and what's going on in my head. Try and get a reaction from Bone Splitter. What is this?
Now you've done it.
Holy cow, it talks.
Rosie, this is a little bit of a big request, but this kind of feels like a special occasion, and I haven't really been out, just to have fun in a very long time. I haven't been out in general in a very long time. I just wanted to ask, I know that the actual transforming potions aren't working on me, but do you have any, illusionary ones that could maybe make me look a little different and maybe bigger?
So in the split, legitimately, you really just turned to Bone Splitter and said that. It took half a second for her to step in, close the curtains, and open it.
1 second, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry, I'm signing a card.
2, please.
Your future Momo editing this. Use this time to go and grab a glass of water. You don't take enough breaks for yourself.
Yes. And don't just eat cookies.
Oh my god. You guys. My mom just commented on one of my TikToks. I have to move to Utah and start over.
Oh my god.
Oh my.
So in the second that it takes for you to turn and say that to Bone Splitter, the curtains close and then they fling back open. And in the space of half of a heartbeat, Rosie has immediately transformed into she looks like herself, but her outfit is sparkling. She has a very heavily embroidered jacket on, and the jacket has all of these birds that are twining together in this sparkling rainbow kind of vaporwave pattern. And the way that the light hits them, they shift and shimmer underneath her. Her hair has completely been reworked into a beehive that spirals very tall on top of her head with all of these little jeweled pins inside of them, so that it looks like kind of like this elaborate, very gaudy pin cushion. And she has applied a fresh coat of this makeup across her face, where it's accentuated her eyes to make them even bigger, and her lips are very fresh, and she has on a pair of very glossy blue shoes. And she walks out and she looks to you, Dawdle.
Rosie, you look wonderful.
Absolutely, yeah, I can help you out. What would you like to look like? Tell me a little bit about what you want to do. Do you want to talk about your hair? Do you want to talk about your clothes? Do you want to talk about your shoes? Would you like to talk about maybe a bow? How many bows? 3 bows? 4 bows? 5 bows? I never really know how many are enough bows.
Well, it's a little embarrassing, Rosie, but if we're going out and you're getting all dolled up and, go have a night on the town or whatever, I was kind of hoping I could look like me.
Oh, you want to look like you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, you're going to have to explain to me what you look like, because I don't really know. I only know you like this. And so if you explain to me what you look like, or what you would used to look like, then I might be able to make a pretty accurate illusion that would match exactly what you want. What color were your eyes? What color were your hair? What color, how long were your ears? Tell me everything.
Oh goodness. Okay, I spend the next little bit describing in as much detail as I can what I looked like before to Rosie.
And the whole time she's talking to you while you're doing this, listening intently, but she just has this ability to, she talks and listens at the same time. She's an open door. And she's mixing potions together. And at the end of it all, she hands you a vial.
Let's hope that this works out, because I'm not really sure with you, because every time we try something new, I'm always kind of surprised by what comes out. But let's go ahead and see what happens this time.
Will I sound any different?
You probably sound about the same, but I think that we can make that work for you as well.
All right. I'm gonna chug.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
Alrighty. No.
Okay.
Oh no.
So you immediately feel a little strange, and there's a shimmer, and you look in the mirror, and it looks very much like you. You look like Dodalia. Describe Dodalia, but make it pick a few points that are wrong.
She has long black hair, but it's not quite as long. I don't think I conveyed to Rosie just how long it actually is. She looks like Dodalia's stunt double. So, not quite Dodalia. All the features are right, but the face isn't quite right, because you can't really describe, where a jawbone sits and stuff.
To you, it's like looking at a distant cousin, but it's as close as you've been for a while. What is she wearing?
I probably picture she would have asked for a nice light purple dress or something. Nothing fancy, just a nice color.
Despite your instructions to make it nothing fancy, it is a very well-made, elaborate purple gown. This is probably Rosie's interpretation of something that isn't fancy, which means that it's pretty fancy.
Rosie, is there anything that you need help with to lock up the shop?
Nope, I got it.
And she snaps her fingers, and the shop shuts down, and all of the lights kind of dim, and you hear sounds inside, and you see shadows under the cracks of the door, as if people are moving around on the inside.
Okay, I see.
So while they were doing that, Juniper was already stalking her way angrily towards getting a June.
Okay, yeah, June, you were already, they were doing this magical makeover moment.
June's I'm out.
I'm out.
Peace.
You were already out in the middle of the street, walking along. Eventually, you come to the realization you don't know what tavern they're in.
I don't.
And so you stalked out into the street in rage, and you realize you're going to need more information.
Are there any old ladies around me? Those are safe.
Well,
Safe for
are
what?
you seeking out an old lady?
Safe for what?
Yes, I'm seeking out an old lady.
Okay. You find an old woman who is a merchant working a small shop that sells colorful yarn.
Ma'am.
Yes. Hello.
Hi. Nice to meet you. Can you?
Hello, young woman. I step forward so that my old eyes can see you better.
So June probably has been around a lot of old people, so she gets very, very close because she knows this lady probably can't see nothing.
This woman smells like sage and very fragrant Eastern oil.
Just like Mama. Okay. Would you happen to know where any of the taverns are, or?
She has 2 teeth in her entire head, and she kind of gums for a minute, and then she looks around. A woman of your reputation shouldn't be found in any of the taverns in the Court of Stars. A lady like yourself was most likely looking for something in the northern sections of Waterdeep.
Well, miss, I am trying to, ma'am, I should say,
Oh, I haven't been a miss in about 60 years. You're so kind. And she pats your hand.
No, you're so young and gorgeous. I'm trying to find some people who also do not belong in these taverns. So if you could please point me in the direction.
Well, yes, of course I'll help you. There are many taverns in this area. There are 2 just around the corner. I don't know how you'll find your friends, but you could certainly look within there. Just don't stay too long, my dear.
Would you say this way?
No, this way. And she points you down the main thoroughfare. The street is called the Way of the Dragon, and it's the main thoroughfare that leads into the Court of Stars. And she's leading you out towards the main part of town that funnels out towards the Magister's Keep.
I really hope I don't have to fight anyone tonight. So, any of these here? Is what you're telling me. Okay.
I don't know what to tell you other than there are some taverns here. There may be some farther down that I would help you myself, but I'm afraid that I have my wares here. I must take care of them.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much for even pointing me this far. I think I'll just hop along, maybe enjoy the city a little bit. Look.
Okay. You make your way from the small woman's shop into the city towards the Way of the Dragon, which is that thoroughfare. And as you start to approach, you see bigger buildings that are not tents. It seems like sturdier buildings and things like that. And there are a number of taverns that are laid out. Meanwhile, you haven't gotten that far. I think that you slowed down when you were speaking to the old woman. Doddle, Saray, Bone Splitter, and Rosie. You're making your way down the street, and you see June kind of wander further down towards the main thoroughfare.
I'm gonna wave to her. June.
May I also stay for like story purposes that we caught up pretty quick? Because you know that scene in Tangled where Rapunzel shows up to the Lantern Festival and she's like, and then they braid her hair and she's dancing and stuff. That's what Doddle's doing now that she looks a little bit like herself. Like she's running up to the stalls and being like, how long have you been in business? Are you doing okay for yourself? And like running up to somebody else and being like, I love your dress. Where did you get it? Like,
never seen Tangled, but
I keep giving Knox shit for that because I was like, Tangled is probably the one Disney movie that you would really, really, really enjoy.
I love it. But yeah, she's very excited.
You're running from stall to stall talking to people, and they're very kind. Some people are a little grumpy, but they ask if you're going to buy anything, and you make your way around.
Can I buy? Is there any flower crowns? Can I buy a flower crown in D&D? Can I live my best life in D&D, Docs?
You do find a vendor that is selling dried flower crowns along with other herbs, and it's an old woman that June was actually walking away from.
Icon.
So yeah, so this old woman sells you a flower crown, and she gives it to you, and as she does, she says, "It's so rare that any young woman so pretty comes into my tent. I couldn't possibly take your coin. You take this and wear it, and you tell all those young men that are going to fawn after you that you are a virtuous young woman and keep them far away."
Oh my.
Thank you, miss. I will be a wonderful PR department for your business.
And she just kind of smiles, her gums shining as you skip away. And meanwhile, though, while you're getting a flower crown, Saray, you were trying to hail June. Rosie's talking a mile a minute, and not particularly anyone, just kind of talking, as she and Bone Splitter walk behind you.
What is she talking about?
She's talking about all the differences in alchemical components, where color changes the properties of a magical potion.
Huh. No, well, that's great, Rosie.
But you see June, and you shout out to June.
June,
and
yeah.
June, as you're moving through the streets, you do hear Saray shouting behind you.
Oh, Saray. Oh, thank goodness.
We're headed this way.
Okay, yeah, lead the way so we can
Trust in on these boys. Yeah.
Oh, I just realized Rosie meant by we could probably do something for that is she probably had a potion that could also change my voice. Could we say that I took one of those?
You did not, though.
I didn't realize what she meant by
no,
that.
No, it's okay. So you're fighting with your voice right now, and you can ask Rosie at the bar. Maybe she can make a drink for you. The 5 of you are making your way through town. Saray, where are you going?
I'm gonna go back to where I had confronted the voice.
Well, that's all the way back in the dock ward. So they had gotten onto a carriage. You're not exactly sure what tavern they're in.
Got it.
And
okay.
I'm going.
Okay. I'm gonna use my roguish perception, and I'm going to assume
You're going to make up an ability.
Yep.
Cover for the fact that you have no idea where they are.
I'm going to assume that they were going to try and go to a tavern closer to Rosie's than close to where they were in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
So, Rosie, didn't you give me a potion one time that allowed me to send a message to MacLeod? Perhaps we can do that again for the sake of everyone's convenience and time management?
I absolutely could. I could mix a potion right now. As a matter of fact, I brought my traveling alchemist kit. I never leave home without it because, of course, you never know when you might need to mix a potion, and that potion might be important to something. And so, like right now, I'm going to make you a potion that's going to be able to allow us to make a message to MacLeod. And she mixes it up.
While you're at it, could you make a potion? Maybe change my voice so I don't sound like a goblin. I don't know. If you have time, like, it's no big deal. Like, it's just, it'd be nice.
She adds a kicker to it, and now when you take it to change your voice. So you can send your message to MacLeod, and MacLeod can send a message back. So we're going to come back to you. Meanwhile, in the Rambling Rambler, the Rambling Rambler is a tavern that has been keeping the 3 of you entertained for some time. You've all found ale, and it's been very, very loud. So you're enjoying an ale in this corner. What would you like to do?
MacLeod hasn't been drinking that much.
That's fine.
Do you want to go grab us another round?
Tell you what, I'll grab it. That first round was free, though. Tell you what, buddy. This next one is going to cost you telling us what the deal is with you and that ship earlier.
Absolutely not.
Like, who's going to put a hand on Hawk's arm?
Do you always bribe people for their deepest personal information? Is that how you start every relationship?
MacLeod's going to grab all the official documentation and put it down, then move it to the side, and then pull out a small notebook and open it. Right, okay, Cal. So basically, I'm glad you're able to join us. What's your deal with the Siren's Call? You seemed a bit like you were super scared when you looked at it, but also you're super easy to trust random people, and it looks like you don't really have anywhere else to go.
That's kind of true. I mean, just say I'm not exactly I want to keep on the down low, you know.
Yeah, boy. Either way, I understand that this question, all this questioning is probably going to scare you off, but I will warn you that if you run away, Saray, who's the person who you saw before, she's really good at tracking people. So running away ain't going to really deal with you. And if you do run, you do know all of our secrets, so she is going to track you down and bring you back to us. So I just want you to know that.
Unnecessary warnings and threats. I didn't think.
I don't think that one was unnecessary, bud. Unless you were.
Until right this second.
Listen, the fact of the matter is we have some really scary people kind of chasing after us, so we've had to cover our asses quite a bit. In fact, they're probably going to be really pissed off that we told you anything at all.
That's why they'd probably hunt you down. But what I'm interested in is, what do you know about the Siren's Call? Inside, we found a whole bunch of stuff, which is like dangerous things in the back of the captain's office. But when you looked at it before, you went white as a fucking sheet. Honestly, the fact that you're just walking up to random strangers and trying to just talk to them in any way, like, is just, it really doesn't sit well with me. So I'm not going to take the fact that you don't.
You call that trying to talk to you? I stumbled upon 2 of the strangest, most out-of-place looking people I've seen in this town in a while, standing over 2 dead bodies with ruins of buildings in close
Yeah.
proximity.
MacLeod, I'm sorry, but I'm gonna have to take his side on this. If anything, he has way more reason to be suspicious of us.
You drew
from
your
that
swords
part.
on me in that
Oh
situation.
no, I ain't saying we ain't suspicious. I'm just trying to get a general good picture as to why you're here and what you know about the Siren's Call, because we're supposed to be doing an official investigation.
Right,
From what we could
right.
tell, the Siren's Call is owned by a gang called the Zentarim.
Is it? I haven't seen
So-
that ship in a long time. It used to carry something very important to me, but all of those things are gone. That still falls strictly in the category of my business, unless you want to pay for another round. Then we'll see.
You got a deal. I get up and then I'm gonna go and I order us another round.
You fight your way past the very busy crowd around the bar. You order a few more drinks. While the two of you are alone, MacLeod, do you and Calder say anything to each other?
There's a book that was on the boat. You know anything about it?
A book?
A black book. It's like one of a kind. It was in the back of the captain's office. You know anything?
I can't say that I do. I haven't seen that ship in a long time.
Magda closes the small little journal. I'm sorry about that. We're in a lot of shit at the minute. We're trying to work with the guard. We're trying to do it on our own. There's lots of stuff. And I'm sorry we have kind of thrown you in. I didn't mean for this. It's just I wanted to know if you knew everything about us. And maybe we could learn something about you. Maybe we can help each other out. I don't know. I'm very new to this. I used to go and fucking find stuff on the sea. I'm very new to being like a fucking underground criminal. So, sorry. I'm kind of grasping at straws for any answers.
When he says new to being an underground criminal, Cal just kind of looks at him like, oh boy. like almost like a sweet summer child look, but from like a shitty teenager.
When MacLeod said that, would that be about the
Yeah,
time
you come back with your drinks.
Trust me, I'm also new to this. Until a couple months ago, I used to be a paladin. Technically, I still am.
Cal looks like grotesquely surprised.
No, don't worry, Cal, but it's surprising to me every fucking day.
Wait, are we at the part where we're sharing our lives before this?
Then pass me a drink and find out.
All right, well, I pass him one. There's a lot that I don't remember, but I
Al
used
just
to be...
knocks it back like water.
I try to do the same, but I'm clearly not used to drinking as often as possible, and I kind of spurred back up a little bit.
You know the scene in Sweeney Todd where the little boy just drinks vodka like it's nothing? That is Cal.
MacLeod, you are sitting there, everyone's talking. You said that you had pulled out all the paperwork that you had taken from the Siren's Call and had it spread out on the table in front of you.
Yeah, and some official documentation that he pushed to the side just to be like, this is for my personal use. No, this is going on the record. That's work sense. But yes, there's a lot of official documentation.
Yeah, the majority of what you've taken are maps and ship logs. However, the thing that you are most surprised by is a recent manifest of the ship's cargo. The same cargo that was originally robbed, that was investigated by Inquisitor Sternward. And the manifest details not only everything in the hull of the ship, but also where it came from. You discover that it is being referred to as the Dragon Horde of Malderastrix, Blight of the Northern Waste. and this dragon horde had been a very important shipment that had been traveling from various different ports. For whatever reason, the rest of the documentation becomes very intentionally vague about where it's going or why. But it was carrying, effectively, a small fortune in treasure and magical items. In addition, there were a large number of magical creatures that had been gathered, including, as you find on that manifest, a very ill-tempered manticore. The only notification of who this shipment would have been going to is blank. There doesn't seem to be any indication as to where it was going. But from where it was coming from, you discover that individuals who are highly tied to the various organizations of the North in Neverwinter. Not directly tied to the government, but tied to the mercantile forces that travel around those general areas. In all of this manifest, there is notification. There are kind of fresh writings, and it seems to be from the captain of the Siren's Call. It is a passage that speaks of a strange cleric that was brought on board. And this is what it says.
I know not where this strange man has come from. He entered into the port of Neverwinter before we left our final destination, headed south towards Waterdeep and then to Baldur's Gate beyond. This man was a mystery from the beginning, though we have been well paid, so our questions will end there. He has stayed to himself in his cabin, has required very little of us, remained distant, and when present, very, very silent. However, some have begun to feel that his prayers are distracting. They say that below deck they can hear his screams, agonizing shrieks that he lets out in the middle of the night, praises that they do not understand in a tongue that none amongst my crew can comprehend. It is strange. My crew speaks so many languages.
And then the dates are all marked, and it goes further down. You again is just talking about weather currents and about adjusting the direction of the ship and making all of the various degrees to edge themselves closer and safely to the port of Waterdeep. Apparently, there were a massive number of storms that they were trying to avoid, which makes sense because Waterdeep seems to be beset with storms these days. The other notable entry that you find speaks about the cleric's disappearance.
The white-robed cleric has gone missing. It is without warning. The chambers that he was assigned to have been left as if he were never there. The floors have been scrubbed, and every sign of his presence has been removed. None of his personal effects are here, and in fact, fearing the worst, we made an immediate inventory of our cargo. My fear found purchase in the disappearance of a specific piece of cargo. Everything in the Dragon's Hoard has remained untouched. However, the notes from the wizard on that expedition and all of the maps in the inventory regarding its retrieval had gone missing. I do not look forward to explaining this to our investor.
And so you've become engrossed in this writing. Hawk, what are you and Calder doing as Maglo is deep in reading?
I'll tell you mine, and you'll tell me yours, okay?
We'll see.
Oh, it's close enough for me. I was born in a city called Baldur's Gate. You ever been there? Well, actually, no. I was born in Neverwinter. I was raised in Baldur's Gate.
You born in Neverwinter, were you?
Yeah. No, I was born in Neverwinter, but the monastery I was raised in was in Baldur's Gate.
Oh, right. I always thought you grew up in Baldur's Gate. No, it's my fault.
Oh, yeah. You were Neverwinter Army, right?
Oh, yeah. No.
Yeah. So I was, I was raised in a monastery down Baldur's Gate with my sister. I mean, things were pretty good. I got in trouble a lot, but my sister, my mentor, and my friend and I, after a while, we found ourselves in a place called the Underdark. I'm the only one that made it out. Ever since then, I've been a servant of the Raven Queen.
Wow. How's that?
Doddle, send your message.
How many words do I get? And Rosie did put a voice modulator in the post as well, right?
You are able to speak in your, in an elven voice. It's not your elven voice, really. It's close. So you have an elven voice that you're speaking in, as opposed to a goblin voice. And you have pretty much a sentence. And this rings out in your mind, Maglo.
This is Donald. Please tell us what tavern you are at.
And you hear the kind of gravelly goblin voice slowly melt into a melodious elven voice that lilts and has soft tones.
We're at Raucous, Rambler.
I'll remind you, you don't know how many words you have, so.
Question the boy, he doesn't know much.
It just stops, yeah.
He doesn't know.
He doesn't know much. So you did get out of that. You got Raucous Rambler.
I was gonna hit Hulk and be like, I just got a message from Doddle. They're coming, I imagine. Well, they were just wanting to know what tavern we were at, but I just think
they're coming
on their way.
Cal looks around like, I got a message from where? How?
No, fine. It's in the brain. We have a wizard come with us.
That means we've got a couple minutes before a bunch of people are gonna come here. One's gonna be very excited to see you. One is definitely gonna be angry. One is questionable.
You're fine. Hawk and I are gonna get an airful, but you should meet the. We have a goblin come with us. They're real nice and talking.
All right.
What I'm saying is, if you got anything you want to say to us before they get here, now's probably a good time because it is going to get very socially wild.
Well,
that's true. Actually, is there anything?
If you guys would shut up and let me say it, yes.
He has a point.
Because fair's fair. You told me your history. I'll tell you one of mine. I was born on that boat. That ship that your friend is dissecting.
Was your family like passenger side or crew or?
It was theirs.
That was their boat.
Once.
Did they kick you off?
Okay, I like to keep these conversations to about 50 words or less, and we are fast approaching that limit.
It's fair.
So maybe next round.
The kid can drink, and he knows how to hold his own. Each of you has, kind of been going at it, but he is pounding them back, and he doesn't seem that affected by it. He's sturdier than he looks.
I'll be right back with that next round of drinks. Do you want a drink? Maglo, do you want a drink?
No, I'm alright.
Do you want a drink, Maglo?
Nope.
Little drink and drink?
Nope.
Okay. He goes over and he grabs another round. He gets one for Maglo anyway.
Maglo has like 4 untouched drinks in front of him. He's just like refusing to drink. He keeps like giving them to Cal.
In front of Cal, I go, I apologize.
He doesn't even give them to Cal. When Hawk puts down an empty drink, Maglo just swaps them out. He puts the one next to him.
I am so sorry for my friend. He can't hold his liquor anyway. So Cal, does that make it your ship?
I guess that depends on what you would consider the prerequisites for ownership.
Oh, so what happened?
It was requisitioned. I thought it was destroyed.
So why? You know?
Yeah, a little bit. Cal's like visibly like uncomfortable and upset now. Just like annoyed.
Both of you need to make insight checks at disadvantage since you've been drinking. How'd you do? I'm actually on a different screen right now.
Wow, 21 and then a nat 1.
That's a 14.
Yeah, the kid wants to open up to you, Maglo. You've really broken down his barriers.
I mean, I think Maglo is just because, like, I think Maglo's had like 1 drink, but his alcohol is mysteries, and he's solving one. So is fully like it's not even like oh, he's breaking down. Maglo's like, I've broken him down. I'm gonna get more information.
So you do that. Hawk, where are you at with this roll?
I rolled a 14.
You actually do pick up the social cues that the kid has done. You better change the subject, is how you're kind of feeling from it. If you want to, unless you want to, lose sight.
So this band, they have a good flautist.
Alice starts cracking up at that point. Part relief, partly the fact that I'm not sure there is a flautist.
It's at about this point, though, that the rest of the party enters into, unless there was something you were going to do before you got here. There is music, and there is a large open air oven in the center of the tavern, and there is bread being baked, and drinks are being served all around. And the band is very popular, and all of the patrons in the bar are very lively. It is very exciting, and it doesn't seem... It's a shadier bar, but it's not dangerous in the same way that some of the bars and taverns have been that you have entered into in the Southern Ward. So when you enter in, you're greeted by all of the sound and the smells and the sights of people moving about. A few people kind of take notice of you, Dodalia. They kind of stop as soon as they look at you, and then are completely distracted by the half-giant and the gnome that have entered into the bar as well. Really, it's Bone Splitter that ends up taking all of the eyes in the bar as he works his way through gingerly the crowd of people.
Because Bone Splitter is a full orc, correct?
No,
he's only half.
Bone Splitter is half orc, half Goliath, which is giant.
So he's even worse.
Giant
big boy.
I'm such a fan.
Without using this weird mash of different cultural backgrounds, Bone Splitter is effectively an ogre.
I wave at the people looking at me.
You do, and they all kind of smile and nod, and they look a little nervous. But Bone Splitter only confirms any sort of nerves that they might have. And you make a quick glance around the room, and June in the corner, you see Maglo and Hawk. And they are sitting with a young man who you watch. There's a pile of empty tankards and small glasses, and he throws back an ale that is full, and it disappears in one drink.
I think but Cal immediately sees this ogre and just raises a glass and goes, "Hey!" Yay! Because there's a party.
May I run right up to Calder?
You may.
Right, I'd like to say, hello, you must be MacLeod and Hawk's new friend. It's such a pleasure to meet you. And I'd like to put my hand out and say, my friends call me Doddle, so you may if you'd like.
When Doll does that, I just immediately go. I knocked over my dice tower when I did that.
Calder accepts
MacLeod
the
leans
handshake.
back and
It's
looks
like,
at.
Well, hello, ma'am.
Dodalia?
I'm sorry, did I startle you?
No.
Did you?
What?
You're so hot. Are you kidding?
Oh my.
I punch him in the arm. She is royalty.
You know, you guys are making me all embarrassed.
So in their like drunken stupor because they see this hot chick, Juniper kind of comes and gingerly puts your arm in front of Doddle to kind of scoot her over a little bit as she leans over the table at the men. What do we have here, huh? Who's this?
This is Cal. He's a young man who was born on the Siren's Call, and I think he's connected to the captain some way.
Cal. And what exactly have you talked to Cal about?
In the middle of all of this chaos, the entire table shifts to one side as Bone Splitter leans on it as he takes a seat and pushes Hawk over to one side. Hawk doesn't fall, but like he just like kind of like bumps him, and his entire chair kind of skids over as he sits in this chair, the stool, and it creaks very audibly. Climbing up his shoulder and jumping onto the table is Rosie.
Hi, I'm Rosie Glimmerspark. I'm the best alchemist you're ever going to meet, or ever will meet, or ever have met, probably. I don't know exactly what your indication is about how many alchemists you've ever met, but I got to tell you right now that I'm the absolute best that you're ever going to know. And you can be my best friend if you'd like, because I have lots of friends here. This is my friend Saray, and my friend Doddle, or actually it's Dahlia right now, right?
Looks
Nobody will
down
know about
his
the secret.
drink and looks back up at her and like pushes the drink away.
June snatches that cup of ale that Cal just pushed over and takes the rest of it down the hatch. MacLeod, can we talk?
Upon realizing that, like, oh, things are about to get tense, and I believe that Juniper has some things that she wants to vocalize to MacLeod and Hawk, can I look at Calder? Would you like to dance?
Calder's eyes just go like really, really wide. He looks at Dodalia, looks at Rosie, and just like, yes. The fact that he thinks just from the sight of Rosie and Bone Splitter that he might be going insane has just barely outweighed his inability to talk to women.
Oh my.
There you go, dance.
Standing over the table, glowering, is Saray.
We talking?
Saray says that you may have opened up a little bit to your new friend.
Yep.
About what exactly?
Oh, like everything, like our whole operation.
The whole operation.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know this person.
No, but he came to us from a dark alley as we were standing next to two dead people and a whole burning ship. The poor kid trusted us in a second. And even after we were arrested, even after we were fucking arrested, boy stuck with us. He clearly has nowhere to go. Now, I seem to remember a whole group of people that had nowhere else to go, and were pretty easy to trust, a bunch of strangers all joined together. We broke you out of jail, and you had nowhere else to go.
Ooh, I have plenty of places to go, MacLeod. The problem is my story is intertwined with yours. You don't know this person at all.
This person was literally born on the Siren's Call.
That's great.
Born on this place connected to Xanthars.
But you didn't have to tell them everything, and the fact that this person saw you over two dead bodies and said, oh, you know what? Yeah, I'll hang out with these guys and get a drink, that doesn't strike you as a little suspicious.
Oh no, it's super fucking weird, and I really need to know why he did it.
So you know it's weird, and Saray, help me with this.
You're saying everything that I feel. Because yes, this is a little concerning that you would tell someone that you know absolutely nothing about, that just appeared out of nowhere in one of the most dangerous areas of Waterdeep. Just tell them everything.
I remember once upon a time we discovered somebody who was locked up with the most dangerous people of Waterdeep. And when we went looking for her, we decided to help her. And she's been with us ever since.
You were not helping me. You were helping Donald. Do not.
Every
I'm pretty
chance
sure, but the
to leave
first
you to the
thing
wolves.
I did when I saw you was I fucking healed you. I helped you out.
I stood
Healing
between
me
you and a
while I
mind
am
flayer.
defending your friend is different than just picking up a random stranger off the
Exactly.
street who has done nothing for you nor anyone you know. It's a lot different, don't you think?
Listen, I understand
And
that
how
it
do
is
you
different.
know? How do you know if this kid supposedly is familiar with the ship? How do you know that that kid is not lying?
I don't.
How do you know
I have this.
that that kid
everything-
is trying to spy or get information from you so that kid can report to, I don't know, let's say the Xanathars?
Exactly. And I would like to add that I had to be interrogated before even really being even seen as a person in this group by anyone besides Doddle. So the fact that you're drinking with these people that you know
We just
nothing
got
about.
this kid drunk and got him to fucking spill half his life story.
Did
Just
you
think we were
see how much
interrogating
he
him right there.
drank?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you know how people loosen up when they drink?
He's used to this. He took it back like it was nothing. That doesn't mean anything.
Means he's a sailor. That's what sailors do.
His
And
family
you boys aren't.
I literally haven't had. I've had like a drink.
I've had several, but the
He
fact of
is
the matter
drunk.
is,
I ain't.
I don't.
Calder and Daedalus, make performance checks for your dance. Daedalus, you have an advantage.
Fuck yes. Bless you, Nox. Thank you. Still not great.
Ooh, okay.
Wait.
Not great. No, it's fine though. So you both enter onto the dance floor, and what you quickly realize is that this is an illusion. So your height is wrong. This young man is reaching for your shoulders, and everything's a little off. Calder, you realize that there's something very strange about this elven girl. You're not seeing what's here. You know what illusions are, and you think this might be an illusion.
He knows he's not this drunk.
Realizing this, as soon as the two of you meet and hold each other on the dance floor, as you begin dancing, the dance is slightly awkward, but it doesn't matter because you are in the middle of a raucous tavern filled with drunken revelry. The people that are around are just happy to have you on the dance floor, and they clap you along. And despite the awkward beginnings of the dance, you end up having fun. And you're swinging each other back and forth, and for a moment you both forget that you are in the middle of Waterdeep, surrounded by danger, and facing a world of problems that could very easily kill either of you or your companions. And everyone at the table or on the dance floor can make an insight check.
Well, bam.
That's good.
That's a fucking 24 there, bud.
Oh, I see it.
Worst rogue.
Why? You need advantage on everything, Saray. Okay, so yeah, you're upset, Saray, and so you are just focused on the situation. Same for you, June. You are micro-focused on the situation at the table. Cal, you've got this itchy feeling on the back of your neck, and it's, as a sailor, something that you've become very accustomed to. Something that you've understood that you, from time to time when it happens, you have to trust it. You have a bad feeling. Hawk, your eyes kind of wander away from the table, and you start looking over at this young man and Doddle dancing on the dance floor, and your eyes then wander back to the bar. Doddle, you're the first one that notices as you're spinned around. You're being swung back and forth now in this very upbeat dance, and you're being kind of passed off to someone else, and then back to Calder. And as this happens, you spin, and you see at the bar a strange hawk-like face that you recognize. It is a nebbish young man with shaggy black hair and a frail frame. He's wearing kind of aged red robes, and you recognize him as the young wizard that you met at the Gilded Lady so long ago when you first entered into Waterdeep. And he looks past you as if you're not there and is staring daggers at Hawk and MacLeod.
Wait, can you remind me what interactions did we have with this young wizard?
This was part of the adventurers that were at the table that called you a goblin in a derogatory way, and then began to ask questions. They followed after you and your group when the ruckus was caused, and they were very loudly bragging about their adventures when you first entered into the establishment. With this wizard, you remember seeing a young woman who was apparently a bard, given that she was carrying a mandolin and a few other instruments with her. A very rugged and handsome young warrior who was speaking louder than any others.
This is super deep cut. This is first episode how we all met.
Yeah. Oh my god.
The nebbish young man narrows his eyes, and then Hawk, you meet them, and the two of you are staring at each other from across the bar.
Hawk has had this rebuttal to Juniper that he's just been wanting to throw down. When I first saw you, you were on the ground, and all I thought was that this person needs help. So I did everything I could, including show a side of myself I don't like to show. And the first thing you did afterwards is you called me a monster. I look at people when they need help, and I help them on faith, and I thought a holy person would understand. But the only thing I see in front of me is just another priest from another religion throwing their smug superiority at me whenever they get a chance. And I get up and I march right to the guy that was staring at me.
You stand, and in your rage, you face away from the table, and the young mage is gone. Doddle, you lost sight of the man as you were spinned in the dance and pulled back, and you and Calder are on the dance floor together. Calder, do you do anything?
He would want to like look around and see, like look for the source of these bad vibes.
Yeah, you don't know what it is, but the look upon Dedalia's face tells you that something is wrong.
And he's gonna ask, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just a little nervous, that's all. Like the vibe that I'm giving off is like, you know, when you're in your hometown and you run into somebody from a high school and you're gonna pretend like you don't recognize them and hope that they don't like recognize you too. It's like, right. I know him, I know he was a dick to me, I know he's probably not gonna recognize me, but I really have no reason to like attack him or go over to him, so I'm just gonna hope that he's just here having a good time and we're not gonna, you know, perform any party fouls. That's the kind of vibe I'm giving off. I look nervous, but not like afraid.
Okay, well, obviously she's, like, not chill about it, so Calder's kind of on edge. Like,
is there an X here?
Like, all right, noted, gonna disregard that and keep looking around.
The environment at the Raucous Rambler only picks up, and the joyous dance continues. Those who are playing on the stage speed themselves, and the music becomes more furious as it continues on. There is no other sign of this mage. Hawk, you wander about towards the bar for some time, and you do not see him again. You search high and low, and yet he seems to have completely disappeared. But you're certain that he was here. And at the table, Rosie has not stopped talking. She has continued to expound upon the theory of color alchemy and how it might change the very face of magical exploration. Bone Splitter is silently sipping the tankard that the young man Calder left behind.
Oh, June leaves the tavern.
Magla?
Magla's gonna go after her. He like chucks his things in his bag and then goes after her.
Yeah, it's going to take a while for you to gather your papers. Either you
It's
follow
very
June-
messy.
Okay. You shove everything into your bag, and it is a huddled mess. You think that some of the papers are probably still on the bar, but you managed to get everything. Saray, what are you doing?
They do their thing. They run out. I don't notice anything, so I'm going to sit at the table and hold the table for when everyone gets back, since they're all having their moments. And I'm gonna continue to listen to Rosie.
Okay. I need Juniper and Maglo to both make initiative rolls.
Oh, not 20, boy.
You got a natural 20. You're going first.
Yeah, 3. I mean, yeah, he's going first.
You got a 3.
Yeah.
Okay. Someone was hiding and trying to surprise you. Juniper, you're unaware. You're so furious. You walk out. However, Maglo, there's someone in the alley watching June. What do you want to do? Nothing's happened yet. You just know somebody's there. So
he just is like, June, come on.
No, I was not the only person upset with both of your actions, and yet I'm the one who gets chewed out. Saray is not able to fully voice how they feel at the moment since, they had a tough time earlier, but we agree, and yet I am the one who was brought down. No, I'm done.
I'm not, I didn't, it's not that I just was trying to fight my case, right? I know why you're mad. I just told you because you're the one who I trust the most, all right? I just figured you, out of everyone else, would understand. What we're in is a whole pile of shit, and I fully get that it's different. The kid needs help.
Maglo, I think that you are brilliant. I quite respect you, but that hot guy just gets under my skin. And the fact that he would pretend that he did anything for me? No. Don't lie and pretend that you did something for me when you did it for Doddle and then murdered someone in cold blood in front of me, and I was just supposed to be okay with that. You both have to understand where I'm coming from, while I also have to understand where you're coming from.
No, I get it. Then Hawk's a dick. We both know it. He's like the worst. God, I hate him so much. But come on, you said you give what you get. I trust you. Trust me.
I do trust you, Maglo. It's not you that I don't trust. You've earned my trust. It's simply fine.
Come on, let's go Adrian.
Okay. Yeah.
both of you turn and enter back into the tavern. And in the alley, a shadow creeps deeper into the darkness of that place, having watched everything that just took place. Saray, you're sitting there, and Rosie has now shifted her attention to you, and she is talking to you a mile a minute.
And you see what I was trying to say about those different colors and how they actually associate with every possible use of a certain type of alchemical spell. You might be able to make a different thing for a different color. And if you like the color pink, for instance, like I like the color pink, I really like the color pink. If you haven't already noticed, because my hair is pink and oftentimes my shoes are pink, but I also like blue shoes. But anyway, like I was saying, I don't want to get distracted here. I oftentimes mix the different colors, and I'll find that sometimes the use of the specific color will result in a different outcome, and sometimes the side effects are very different. Like you've noticed that Hawk has been changing colors as well, and I've got to admit that a little bit of that is somewhat of an experiment on my part. He often is gloomy and has kind of like what I like to call sour pants syndrome, and because he has sour pants syndrome, I think that maybe if he was a different color, he might find a way to brighten himself up and feel better about himself. Because sometimes the interior cheery has to be brought on the outside, and sometimes when you're very sad on the inside, if you make yourself look pretty and you find something colorful, it'll bring that back out to you, and you'll be okay, and everything will be all right. If you just kind of remember that sometimes when it's the most gloomy, you can find the best kind of colors all throughout the world.
You seem to have come closer to maybe understanding Bone Splitter in this moment. So the three of you are at the table by yourself. Hawk, is there anything else you want to do, Saray, before I go back?
I just wanted to, just while Rosie's rambling, I'm just gonna check on everyone, Dottle and Cal dancing, and Hawk down, doing whatever Hawk's doing, and like
Metabar
out, and I presume they're now coming back in, and just make sure no one's doing anything stupid or getting into trouble.
You do not see any immediate danger.
Great. I'm the best rogue, guys. The best.
Hawk, you are on the other side of the bar. You also do not seem to see anything that is particularly dangerous. The young mage seems to have left, having made eyes with you. The contact that you made has perhaps scared him off, but he is no longer within the tavern.
Well, I don't like that shit at all. I'm going to, Hawk's very angry, so while Mike thinks, oh, I should ask the bartender about, no, he's just gonna go straight up to Dodalia and Cal on the dance floor.
Can I try and dance with Hawk as well? Like, can I grab his hands and try and, like, spin him around?
When you try and grab him, go, Dodalia, we need to head out now.
Why?
You remember the first day we met? There was that group of people?
Yeah, I saw him too, but he lives in Waterdeep. He's allowed to be here.
He saw us, and I am not sure what his intentions are. Maybe if we go to a different tavern. I don't know. I have a bad vibe about this.
Can we go to a different tavern?
I think that's okay.
Calder, what do you do?
He would just say like, yeah, I got a weird feeling. Are you guys being stalked?
A little.
That's a word for it, yeah.
Oh.
It's just, Calder, it's a little hard for us to let our hair down and enjoy a night. We have a lot of knives at our back, if that makes sense.
He nods and like brushes his hair back a little bit so you can see like this horrible claw mark across that side of his face, like very clearly. I'm like, yeah, I get that.
Oh.
I think you're gonna fit right in.
Cool scars.
Thanks.
Can I grab Calder's hands and say, yeah, we have a lot of scars too.
Yep.
Hers are internal, but I have some actual ones too, and emotional ones. We're very outside and in. There's a lot of scarring here, so you're fine. None of us are well-adjusted people.
I think I'm particularly well-adjusted. Let's go to another tavern.
All right. I'm not drunk yet, so we can go to another tavern. If you guys.
What in the world about me is not well-adjusted?
And as the night wore on, there were no attacks. And despite the looming sense of being watched and dread, you were able to find ale and some amount of peace in the night. As you wandered through the southern ward of Waterdeep, Rosie and Bone Splitter both stayed with you the entire evening. And while neither of them became inebriated by the various ales and wines that you all partook in, they did stay with you and share in the revelry of the moment. As you have been successful, you have survived the investigation at Anchor's Rest, and you have found each other and a new companion. However, at the Anchor's Rest, on the other side of town, the man in the red coat walked confidently through the smoldering piles of debris in the warehouse. His new hat adorned with a large and very brightly colored feather. Before him, the siren's call, toppled over yet unharmed. Another figure, further back in the darkness, aboard that ship, looks down. Sternward, I find that your association with these new investigators may be problematic. They discovered something that we did not. Sternward, looking up at the ship. I do not see how that is possible. They could not begin to fathom the situation that they found themselves in. We underestimated them once. It is clear that they are more clever, perhaps. And after all, they have her with them. Are we sure? Are we sure? It cannot be mistaken. My divinations are true. The goblin was here. And she is trafficking with the young inquisitor. Interesting. Seems that young man has more to answer for than we imagined. The shield. Its magics are here as well. And something else. I smell deep reserves of shadow energy. Something very dark was present here. Yes, we're aware of the Raven spawn. No! Not him. Something else. And as the rain falls in Waterdeep, the two men stand on the remains of the siren call with renewed purpose. That's where we're going to end it.
It's next Sunday yet.
Holy crap.
We're so fucked.
I'm going to kill that man with my intelligence. I'm going to do it
With my intelligence.
Oh my god.
I will kill him with my intelligence. My brain. I will end him.
So, Az,
love
how was your first game? Yeah, we don't like those two at the end.
Also, we oh
don't,
my god, it's them! It's
we're
them
not fans of them. I mean, we are fans of them.
Oh, it's them.
I couldn't make Archmage Smygor any more disgusting.